I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm actually really impressed. These are the AirPods Pro 1st generation. I've been using these for years, and they're finally starting to crap out on me. Meaning when I put them in, every time it goes, ook. Super loud, super annoying, but I've been thinking about making the investment of paying the $250-ish again to get maybe the 2nd gen version of this, and I just haven't done it yet. So I was super overjoyed when Raycon reached out and asked if I wanted to try their new everyday earbud. They did end up sending me the everyday earbuds and everyday protective case. I'm excited to unbox these and test them out for a week or so. Funny story about Raycon. I first heard about them when I was in college, and one of my favorite YouTubers, B00 is his official name, B00, actually did a couple sponsored videos with Raycon talking about how great they were. And if anybody here knows who B00 is, let me know in the comments, because I love that dude. And you might not expect me to be the type of person that watches him. Maybe you do, I don't know, but I digress. We're going to unbox these, get an idea of how they feel in terms of build quality and everything. I can tell you that these are way more affordable than the AirPods Pro, and they have a few of the same features as the AirPods Pro. So I'm gonna be trying to kind of compare my experience using these to the AirPods Pro, which probably isn't the best like apples to apples comparison, but this is where I am in my life right now. And as you know, on this channel, we talk about tech from an intentional living perspective, and the experience of using tech more so than all the ins and outs and intricacies and battery life and how big the battery is and how big the drivers are on the earbuds. Like, do they sound good? Are they comfortable? Can they replace my AirPods Pro? Yes or no? That's what this video is going to be. Enough talking. Let's hop into the unboxing of these guys. So let me clean my knife, Ben. First, we're going to put the case aside and we're going to open the actual headphones themselves, which will be nice. So I do like how small the packaging is. That's kind of nice. Pull the little pull tab. Of course, I have it backwards. I would, right? Power up. All right, first thing we have here is some paperwork. Exclusive Perks Club, Raycon Everyday Earbuds, Quick Start Guide. A little bit of information on tapping them and what all those different taps do. And here are the earbuds. Same kind of form factor as the AirPods Pro. Put these away, I just kind of wanted to show the similar sort of packaging. Something that is cool, this is wireless charging capable, I do believe, which is nice. My 1st gen AirPods Pros aren't. We have extra ear tips here and a charger and a nice little Raycon sticker. Power up your everyday. All right, let's check out these earbuds. How do you open this box? From the side. Discover your perfect fit. Don't mind if I do. So this is kind of cheap plastic, but I'm actually kind of surprised at how nice this sort of like little setup here is. So here's our different fits here. We can try out the different sizes. I'm sure my ears are kind of normal. And then the cable is here, which should be, well, a very small USB-A to USB-C. There's all the stuff so far. We'll go ahead and hop into the protective case as well. So there was a green color that I liked. I'm a minimalist guy. I usually go with black or gray. Well, that wasn't the best sort of opening. That's all right. Okay, cool. So the protective case actually comes with a lanyard kind of thing to wear around your wrist or as a keychain, which I didn't know. That's a nice little touch. It's like they didn't build it into the case here, but it is in this protective case. It looks like there's actually some adhesive on the lid of this, which is a pro move because I had a case for the AirPods Pro before and the lid would always come off. So the fact that there's like either some, like an actual sticker or what that is, let's pop this off here. Yeah, that's nice. I'm actually gonna put this on. Excited to see how this kind of looks. So we'll slap on the protective case and that's what it looks like with the concrete kind of look there. And here are the everyday buds from Raycon. So they do charge in the case, and I think, let's see if it tells, somewhere it's going to tell you how much battery life, because it's actually kind of insane if I remember correctly. I'll have Ben, my editor, put on the screen here the battery life of these things, and then how much the battery life the case can also supply. So what I'm gonna do is pull it out. This goes in my right ear, ANC mode on, active noise cancellation. All right, so they don't stick out too much. That's a nice look. So I'll go ahead and get my phone out over here. All right, let's come into Bluetooth here. I probably should use the quick start guide, but if you're anything like me, you probably feel like you got it. Let's see if it's already down here. My Osmo Pocket, Raycon Everyday Earbuds, connected. That was fast. I like that. All right, let's play some music and just kind of get my first perspective here. Watch House used to be Mandolin Orange. Great band.
Two friends, side by side on a creative quest. Spencer and Ben putting their skills to the test. With cameras, hand and dreams in their eyes. Then
you know, AirPods Pro isn't the best sound quality I've heard. I'm a normal, average kind of audiophile. I'm not even an audiophile. Sounds good. Good bass. Let's check out what our buttons are here. Okay, this is weird. So on the right side, you turn the volume up. On the left side, you turn the volume down. I think that's a little strange, but the fact you can change the volume is nice. You can't do that with the AirPods Pro. Hey. All right, what else we got here? Triple click to skip. Yeah. Triple click to go back. All right, takes some getting used to. There's actually, like, you can kind of see it here as well. You literally have to like tap right on the logo. Okay, you can't just tap. Wow, I think it's capacitive. Like you actually have to put your finger on the thing. It's not like a tap the whole headset kind of thing. So that's good to know. Whoa. So I held this and it said bass sound. So I guess that adds bass. Now what does this one do? All right, we're in awareness mode. Wow, okay. So pass-through mode. That actually sounds really good. Yeah, that's really nice, actually. Better than I thought it was gonna be. So they do have pass-through. Man, that's actually really surprising. I think what's like super surprising is like, it's really like blocking out external noise. Like it's just got such a snug fit in there. So the active feels strange. All right, it's called awareness mode instead of pass-through mode or something like that. So, okay. So you have awareness mode on, awareness mode off, and then ANC mode. Wow. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm actually really impressed. I think the biggest thing is gonna be like, do they stay in my ears as I'm doing everyday things? How easy is it to pop it in and out? So it doesn't actually stop the music if you take it out. So there's one thing Apple does a little differently. And when you put them in, you do touch the sides. So that's good to know, but not a huge deal. Yeah, definitely interested to see how long they last me, like in a real use case throughout the week. This is gonna be my daily driver for a bit. So I'm really excited to try these, and I think the price is like 90 bucks or less, which by the way, if at any time these seem like something you'd like to try out for yourself, which I'm gonna be honest with you, I actually am really liking these things. So at any time in this review, check the link in the description, get a certain percentage off your order using my link and code. And yeah, thanks to Raycon for sending me out these everyday earbuds. I'm gonna try to use these for a week or two and get back to you guys with a full review. So I've been using the Raycons for a couple days now, and I just wanted to, one, compare them to the AirPods Pro, but two, just talk about my experience with them. I do think, I'm just gonna come out and say this, better value compared to the AirPods Pro. You're getting enough in this to make the price tag of $80, $90, whatever it is. It's obviously a quarter of the price of the AirPods Pro, give or take, and it does enough. In fact, it does more than I thought it would. So let's walk through what I like about these first, and then we'll talk about what I don't like about the Raycon Everyday Earbuds. So we're just gonna kind of go quick fire here. First of all, I like how small they are. I like the charging case. I like this silicone case that you can get with it as well. And I actually kind of like this. It's easy just to grab them like that. Throw it in your pocket. Also, this silicone is just like really smooth and nice. I kind of like this concrete kind of look. They charge quickly. If you leave them in there for like 10 minutes, I think it is, you get an hour and a half of charge, which is kind of wild. There is wireless charging on the back of this. So you can lay it down on a Qi wireless charger, which is super cool. I think sound quality is fine. I've not really noticed a difference. Wearing them for long periods of time is also fine, very similar to the AirPods Pro. And like I said, there's multiple different tip sizes you can choose from. I've moved around quite a bit with these in my ears. They haven't fallen out. Again, that might be different for others, but for me, again, very similar to the AirPods Pro. And I think the look and the feel, very minimal look and feel. You pop them right in there. I'm putting this one in backwards because I'm being an idiot. Put them in just like that, done, and they're ready to go. A big thing I was concerned about was connectivity, and actually it works very much like the AirPods Pro. Say I have it connected to my smartphone. If I just go like this, it already goes ahead and connects. So I don't even have to pull these out for it to connect. Very quick, very fast, and similar to the AirPods Pro. Pop them in, my phone changes to these to listen to audio, hit play, and we're good to go. Some other things I really like, you have volume controls on here. So if you tap on the right side, volume goes up, tap on the left side, volume goes down. AirPods Pro don't have that. You have to ask Siri to do that for you. There's tons of different controls actually on the devices here, which I think is super helpful. Look great, feel great, they're light, don't hurt your ears sitting in there for a while. I love them, okay? I really do, and these are going to be my daily drivers. So long AirPods Pro for a little while. Now we're gonna move into the parts that I don't like about these, which basically is only kind of because they're not an Apple device, but we'll get into that in just a second. So one of the things that you'll miss is that spatial audio that you get with AirPods Pro. If I'm watching a movie here and I turn to look at my wife, it keeps the sound here. It plays with the headphones where it like knows where the sound is coming from. Not that big of a deal. I think it does help with immersion, but that's not something you really notice when you're sitting and listening to a movie or something for a long period of time. And honestly, I don't really miss that, but no spatial audio here. Okay, another thing is these are kind of sensitive. The buttons, they're not actually buttons, they're just touch capacitive, I think is how you say it. Kind of sensitive, so even when you're putting it in your ear, a lot of times you'll just push it in by putting your finger on the button. Not a big deal because when you long press on either side, it just changes ambient mode or the type of listening mode. There's like bass mode and like true sound mode and stuff like that. So you can push those on accident. I haven't like tapped them on accident, but there are times where I went to like push it into my ear further or something and I touched it. I think what I quickly realized I needed to do was just kind of hold it like this when I push it in, because then my finger is off that button. Just a very quick learning curve kind of thing there. The only thing that really annoyed me, and this doesn't really pertain to you if you're only going to be using these with just one device like your phone per se, is the other night I was watching TV on my smart TV. I connected the Bluetooth to the TV. It was great. It worked totally fine. But then this morning I went, and it's all, so you can connect two devices at once. I connected to my smart TV. It was connected to my TV. This morning I went to do work on my laptop and I was trying to connect the Bluetooth to my laptop, but because it was already synced to two devices, it wasn't in pairing mode. So I literally had to go downstairs to my TV, go to the Bluetooth settings and say, forget this device in order for that second Bluetooth pairing station to open up with my Mac. Now again, if you're not switching between 3 devices or anything that often, not a huge deal, but that's something that I did notice, which, you know, AirPods can connect to like 80 different devices on the same account kind of thing. So there's that. I'll curtail this with something me and my editor, Ben, what up my dude, have both agreed on. And that is like the app switching that AirPods Pro do. So if I'm listening to music on my MacBook, I decide to get up and go to the coffee shop, I can just pick up my phone and walk out the door and my AirPods will connect to my phone automatically. That's cool in theory, but what Ben and I have found is a lot of times we'll be working on our laptop, boop, 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 listening to music, we'll get a text or something, we'll look at our phone, and it will change to our phone, and we don't want that. And there's no way of turning that off, as far as we know. So that's kind of more annoying than helpful in my opinion, especially if you're not on the move a ton. Also, like, I kind of just plan to keep these connected to my MacBook and my iPhone. I shouldn't have a problem switching between the two. I just do it on the phone or on the MacBook device itself. Battery life has been fine. This case, like I said, it wirelessly charges. It charges the buds themselves very quickly. So battery life on this thing is great. And I literally am going to be using this as my daily driver until these get run over by a car or something else crazy happens. So thank you, Raycon, for reaching out and sending me these and for literally taking place of my AirPods Pro. I truly think these are up there with the AirPods Pro, at least the first generation. That's what I'm comparing these to. If you would like to pick these up, discount at the link down below and it will help the channel as always. They also run these crazy bundles where you can get like headphones and earbuds for like insane discounts and stuff. So go through the link down below, check out all the options they have going on, and I really appreciate you all for watching. I hope if you pick these up, you will enjoy them as much as I have. As always, let me know in the comments if you have any other questions about these guys. I'd be happy to answer them. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and if you like tech from an intentional and minimalist perspective. I appreciate you all for watching. Watch this video next. I think you're gonna love it, and I'll see you all in the next one.